Praise be Jesus Christ. Pope Francis is speaking about World War III again. Pope Francis has repeatedly spoken of World War III during his pontificate, says a Catholic news agency article dated September 8th, 2022, written by Mr. Wimmer. The caption is, Pope Francis shares his concern about nuclear war risks in meeting with Vatican diplomats. Now, you remember Saint Jacinta. Our Blessed Mother said to her, wars are punishments for the sins of the world. It's part of the chastisement. We've lost the fire of our love. Too many believers in Jesus, too many Christians, too many Catholics, they've taken their light and they've put it under a bushel basket. They've become lukewarm. They've lost their vigilance. They're asleep. There's no fire. There's no light, or very little fire, very little light. We've fallen asleep, lukewarm. We're supposed to be the fire, the light of the world. Okay, Pope Francis says, unfortunately, Europe and the entire world are shaken by a particularly serious war due to violation of international law, the risks of nuclear escalation, and the grave economic and social consequences. We all see this, we all know this, and we know what the solution is. We need to honor God. We need to love God. We need to do the works that God is calling us to. That's the only solution. If we're not loving God and loving neighbor, and if we continue to have open season on the most little innocent and helpless, the child in the womb, there will be chastisement. And it won't be pretty. He goes on to say, it is a piecemeal third world war to which you bear witness in the places where you carry out your mission, the Pope told his representatives. And what's should be a particular concern to us, and he says this, he wrote this, it says, in April he wrote in an introduction to an Italian book that the world was moving toward World War III as if it were unavoidable, but that the war is not inevitable. Don't say, oh, Father Mark, he's all doom and gloom. This is the Pope, our Holy Father, repeatedly warning us about this. He wrote, when we allow ourselves to be devoured by this monster represented by war, when we allow this monster to raise its head and guide our actions, everyone loses. We destroy God's creatures, we commit sacrilege, and prepare a future of death for our children and grandchildren. The battles we fight, to take our daily prayer time, to live a holy and virtuous life, to get to Mass and confession regularly, to share our faith with others. These battles, they're not just for ourselves, they're for our children and our grandchildren. And we're living in critical times. And so as Catholics in particular, we need to wake up. In 1 Corinthians chapter 9, St. Paul says, an obligation has been imposed on me, and woe to me if I do not preach the gospel. Viva Christo Re.